And not only is the spiritual food which God offers good for us, it's free. You have no money, God says. Come, buy and eat. Come buy and buy wine and milk without money and without price. No one likes a bargain more than me. Well, maybe my partner Mark does. There are some items which he will absolutely refuse to buy unless they have been marked down at least 50%. But no matter how low the sale price, you just can't beat free, can you? You and I are assured in this morning's text that there are no strings attached to God's invitation. No matter what your income level, you can afford it because it's free. I find it sad that some people are willing to deny their own identity, pretend they are someone other than who God created them to be, in order to fit among their co-workers, their classmates, their family, and their own church. The price they must pay for this sort of acceptance is to deny God's handiwork in their lives, to live a lie. And the price they pay is that each day of their life contains some degree of fear that others will discover their secret. But God says if you drink from the everlasting water and eat the bread of life, you will discover that God offers it free of charge. You may pay the price of fear and guilt that comes with the spiritual diets we have been feeding from. But God's offer is free. And when you eat from the banquet table of God's love, you will discover a sense of freedom that will bring tears to your eyes. Tears of joy and relief. Tears of finally and at long last. God's food is good. God's food is free. And the invitation extends to everyone. You shall call nations that you do not know, Isaiah proclaims. And nations that do not know you shall run to you because of the Holy One who has glorified you. That's not the message that most of us grew up with. We were told we are welcome at the banquet table of God's love if we behave a certain way. We were free to drink from the everlasting water of God's grace if we belong to a certain body of believers. We are invited to taste of the bread of life if we are willing to follow certain church guidelines. But this morning's text says God's table is so diverse, it includes people we don't even know. And I would go even further and say it includes people we would rather not know. It is my hope and prayer that the seat next to Jerry Falwell is not occupied when I get to heaven, because it will be my joy and my delight to see his reaction when he discovers this big old queen sitting next to him is as welcome at God's table as he is. I believe that the afterlife will be filled with a lot of surprised people who skipped over the part in the Bibles that God's grace is extended to everyone. The proverb, "You are what you eat," is said to come from Anselm Brillat-Savarin, who wrote in 1826, "Tell me what you eat, and I will tell you what you are." Old Testament scholar Walter Brueggemann has said, "Whoever feeds owns." Food, he says, comes with a price. Today, you and I are invited to eat from the table of God, who offers love and grace for free, and put away any spiritual diets that come with a price tag attached to them. We are invited to become what we eat, to become a grace-filled, joyful, peace-loving people, to experience the freedom of God's love by accepting ourselves as God's own children. In the words of this morning's sacred text, we are invited to return to the Lord that we may experience mercy, and to our God who will abundantly pardon. And may our spirits be filled to overflowing as we do. Amen.